Hi, friends. It's Karen from Karen Test Stuff. Today I'm here with a fall update, fall 2023, I guess. And I wanted to do a little bit of a reintroduction to some new friends that I've made across a lot of communities worldwide and kind of share a little bit about me, the person you're following, interacting with, and just generally seeing across the internet. So, hi, welcome. So, this is me. I'm Karen Todd. My pronouns are she, her. I describe myself as neurospicy because I am neurodivergent. I have been diagnosed with ADHD, anxiety, and depression, but I like to turn those mental diagnoses on their heads and find ways for them to work for me constructively in my life and in my career. I've actually got a whole talk about it that I'm going to be giving, but I'll talk more about that in a little bit. I am a software tester, not only in job title, but in my heart. I like to describe myself as a software testing advocate because I like to talk about the craft. I like to promote the people within it. I like to share what I'm learning in public so that all of us can kind of collectively grow together. Because even though I'm new on this journey, I still have things that I can share that might help others. And I have been described as a human rainbow, which I rather enjoy because it's hard for me to describe my favorite color a lot of times because my favorite color is all of them together, preferably with sparkles. My friend Jessie did this picture of me that I absolutely love with Liliana up in the top right-hand corner, all of the rainbow sparkles behind me in my pose. I absolutely love it. It's so cute. Thanks, Jessie. If you're interested in more of his artwork, I will link his pages in the description down below if I can remember how to YouTube. So that's a little bit about me, but these are some of the things that I hold dear. These are some of the values that I stand to be true. The first thing is that we're all uniquely different and we're all on different journeys in our life and different stages. And we need to give each other grace and patience as we navigate these life changes, because someone may have this truth that they hold dear, just like I do, many truths that I hold dear. But as you grow and change, those truths might change. And nobody's going to understand your life experience better than you will. So it's your decision how you choose to interact with others. But I choose joy in as many interactions as is humanly possible. Because even in tough situations, I like to say that I can learn from them, which brings me a little bit of comfort. And then later, I can learn to pull some joy from it and make my life better through those learnings and the lives of those around me. Because I have an injustice complex. When I see unfairness in the world, it ignites a fire in me that I don't have for myself. Because a lot of times those injustices affect people who don't have a voice. They either can't or won't or don't want to speak up for themselves. But I feel an innate drive to speak up for those people. And it can get me into trouble. So that's why I also say that I intend to give patience and grace before responding. Because I want to understand where the other person is coming from, even if it's still a place that I don't agree with. If I can understand where that comes from, I'll sleep a little bit better at night at least. Because communication is very important to me. I want to be understood, which is why I use a lot of emojis and italics and bolds and underlines and parentheses. But I want to get my point across. I want people to understand me fully before they make decisions based off what I have to say or who I feel like I am. I love y'all. All right, so my missions based on those values. Like I said, I want to be a voice for the voiceless. If there is an underrepresented community that is taking fire from something or someone, best believe I'm going to step in with my mommy does stuff. Like, I just want to care for all the people. So yeah, especially in the mental health space, because there continues to be more conversation as we get further into where we are now. There's a lot more discussions, there's a lot more openness, but there's still a lot of misunderstanding outside of the mental health community about our needs and our desires, and the fact that, a label on someone's diagnosis doesn't make them the same as someone else with that same diagnosis. It's very complex, and it's hard to talk about with people who are once again on a different path or on a different journey than us. But mental health is health, and when your brain is tired or sick or overstressed, it's going to exhibit itself in real physical ways. And if we can treat the cause and not the symptoms, life might be a little better. I'm still working on that. But working on that helps improve my quality of life, which is part of my mission for quality work in quality spaces. Because yes, I work in software testing, but that's just kind of a coincidence that I care about quality. I've always held myself to very high standards. And that's, like I said, that's not anything new. So I apply that to my work in software testing. I apply that to my work in life. The important thing to me isn't so much the software quality itself, which is great. That's a byproduct of a lot of really hard work from a lot of people. But it's more the quality of the process. Do we enjoy what we're doing? Is it challenging to us? Are we growing from it? Are we learning from it? Are we taking proper steps for rest? What is the quality of the process like that directly impacts the quality of life of the people involved? That's what's important to me, is the quality of the process is improving the quality of life for people, not only our users, but also the people involved in the development. And then my last mission that I have listed here is the big one. I'm working towards a home base in the Netherlands. I want to live and work among the people and the culture that I've come to love and adore. My friends there have welcomed me into their lives without question and just completely accepted me as my true, authentic self, exactly who I am. Even I can't do that some days. But I've been taking steps to learn the culture, to learn the practices, to learn the language and apply it to my life, because I identify so much with their values of, each person adding value and, everyone being equally, equally important. Yeah, like your life matters. But I don't really care what you do with it, just as long as you're not hurting other people. But it's your life. Live it. I love that. That's what I'm doing. So anyway, long story short, I'm working towards there. But I have a couple of obstacles that are in the way of this, which I'd like to bring to your attention now. cute kitty for attention. My big challenge right now is mental health. I haven't been in a really great place over about the last year. I had a period of unemployment. I got divorced. I had some support system changes. Any number of things happen. I'm in a better place now to start taking better care of myself and taking steps to understand, get answers, and hopefully, once again, like I was talking earlier, treat the causes, not the symptoms. However, that has caused me to kind of take a step back on my search for employment in Europe. So I'm still limited to the US right now. I am working as a software tester in a company here in the US. And so I'm a little limited to what I can accept right now, no, I'm a little limited as to the opportunities that I can entertain because I would need sponsorship for a work visa if I were to live and work in Europe. So I'm still working out the details of that, but like I said, my ultimate goal is to get to the Netherlands, but I don't really care how I get there. If there are other opportunities in other countries that may be a little bit less red tape to get me there, get my foot in the door, I'm willing to entertain that as well. So I'll talk a little bit more about how you all can help here in just a second, but the job titles and the years of experience that I have do limit me as far as opportunities to some people. I like to say that I didn't just start working a few years ago. I just started working a few years ago as a software tester. I've managed people, I've managed inventories, I've managed retail stores, I've done a lot in customer service. And you learn things about the world and how to talk with people, how to communicate, how to prioritize from not just software testing. And how many of us went to college for software testing? I know there's a few of you, but y'all are rare. Most of us are transferred. And most of us got in here through happy accidents. I know I did. So let's make more opportunities for happy accidents. Take a chance. Take a chance on me. So here's the different ways that you can help me, because I've had a lot of friends reach out to me lately and ask how they can help with supporting my mental health, how they can help support my career journey, and how they can help support my learning. And so I'd like to present all of you who have asked me how you can help with some ways. I'm looking for people to be my accountability partner. I don't want to lose the momentum that I've gained over the last year through my public speaking. I want to build on it. I'd like to get to a career point where I can do public speaking and work in quality spaces. Whether that means I have my hands physically on software anymore or not, that's something we can talk about. But I want to help improve the quality processes and quality of life for people in a hands-on way. So keeping me accountable for my different goals as far as my speaking, my creativity, following through with ideas. I'm looking for partners who can help me with kind of intermittent messaging, maybe checking up on me, seeing what projects I've got in flux right now, seeing if I'm okay, which a lot of you have been so good about. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Please continue that. It really does make a difference. And then be an advocate for me. While I'm looking for these positions, there's a lot that I don't see because of my limited experience or my my limited time in these communities with you all. I've only been around for a few years, but I already love y'all so much with my whole heart. Say my name in spaces that I don't have access to. Talk to people like conference organizers about me. Let them know if they've got a mental health track that ADHD in me might be a good fit for their conference. Hopefully to inspire people to think creatively about their own brains. Because my talk's not just for neurodivergent people, it's also for anyone who wants to think creatively about their inner monologue, think more positively about themselves. So those are a couple of things that you can do for me. Just help me continue my momentum. I'm going to work on this. I know I can do it, but y'all have been so incredibly supportive to me this entire journey and encouraging to me that I'm just going to ask for a little bit more, just for now. It's hard for me to ask, but I promise that your efforts will not be wasted. I take every bit of energy that y'all have given me and have poured it back into the community with my whole heart. And I'll continue doing that. So looking forward, I mentioned that I was going to be giving ADHD in Me a couple of times this year. The full title is ADHD in Me, How Neurodivergence Serves My Testing. It's a little bit about some practices and coping mechanisms and tools that I've used during my life battling these diagnoses that I actually use for good in my testing. So there's a benefit that I see. There's a learning opportunity and an opportunity for me to choose joy. So I do. And so I'm going to be giving this on October 10th virtually at QualityCon 2023, which is Chris described it as a boutique and intimate software testing conference, which I'm very excited about because I have no idea what that means. So I'm hoping it's a little bit like one of my other favorite software testing conferences, FrogsConf, where that one's an unconference. But I'll link it in the description below so you can go check it out if you're interested. It's just a very different type of setting, and it's very open and welcoming to new voices, and I absolutely love it. So QualityCon is coming up on October 10th, like I said, virtually. I'll have all of these linked in the description down below. After QualityCon, I will be going to Huntsville, Alabama in the US for DevSpace. And y'all, I'm going for a keynote. So excited. I'm really, I can't wait to give this talk in person again because the energy in the room at KCDC was absolutely phenomenal. And I can't wait to be in a real space with people giving this talk again because it's so encouraging and uplifting. And I just love it. I'm addicted to the energy. I need that again. And then the last event that I'll be attending this year is quite possibly the cherry on top, Agile Testing Days in Germany, the mothership of testing conferences. I'll be giving this again on, it's the week of November 13th is Agile Testing Days. I'm sorry, I forgot to say when DevSpace was. DevSpace is on October 23rd and 24th in Huntsville, Alabama. Thanks again, Chris. And then Agile Testing Days is the week of November 13th. So I'm very excited. Can't wait for the party, all of the shenanigans, ball gown breakfast. I gotta find something that I can pack. My luggage is already rather full. Anyway, okay, so that's what I'm doing this fall. That's where you can catch me. Please come to the conferences. I'm so excited. The ones that I'll be speaking in person at, I will have special little trinkets that I make that I give out traditionally to people who meet me in person. So come and find me. All right, so I had some questions from you all. I know this is a rather long video, but I'll add chapters if you just want to skip straight to the questions. I put out the call on LinkedIn to see if you all were curious about any pieces of my journey that you wanted me to cover in this video. And I got a great response from some dear friends. So I'm going to share those with you now. Vivian says, for me, it would be interesting if you have a mission or vision or similar, something that drives you and gives you purpose. I hope I answered that fairly well with the beginning of my video where I was talking about my missions and the values. But if there's something specific that any of you are curious about, please message me directly. I enjoy conversing with members of the community, especially about things that are important to me. And there's a lot of them, way too many to cover in this video. So I look forward to chatting with you all. Armando says, your journey into testing. I'm curious about it. Smile. Like I said, I come from a non-traditional career background. I did complete a software development boot camp, which was like a 26-week course in the evenings after I was going to school full-time. And that taught me JavaScript and Java, as well as like Spring Boot, Angular, things like that. So I have a little bit of experience with that information or with those systems, and have good documentation to reference, as long as they keep it available to us, I suppose. I referenced it fairly often for a while I was learning different aspects of software testing. Because I completed that boot camp in the spring of 2020. Before that, I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. I bounced around all over the place. Video game store management. I was a safety administrator for a geotechnical engineering company for a while, which basically meant I ran a bunch of their medical testing programs and Department of Transportation legal stuff, which was very compliance-based, which gave me great eye for detail for software testing. So that's why I like to say that, like, I didn't just start working 2 years ago when a company took a chance on me as a junior software tester. In my career path, I've gained people skills, I've gained knowledge, I've gained all of those skills that I talked about before. So taking a chance on people, it's not that scary. Like, you're taking more of a chance on people's personalities and, being able to communicate well and share their knowledge that they have with people, because that's what we all have to do. We have to work with people, even in waterfall approaches or siloed approaches. You still have to deliver things to people. You're still working for people. Even if you're working by yourself, you've got clients. Long tangent short. You need these software testing these skills everywhere, not just as a software tester. And I think it makes me a better software tester, having like a service background. Yeah. Anyway. Like I said, I completed the boot camp in spring of 2020. Pandemic happened. There was no placement for our apprenticeships, which were a big reason of why I signed up to the boot camp. But it wasn't all for nothing, because the networking that I did with the fellow people in my cohort ended up landing me the job in December 2020 that started my software testing journey. Because before then, I wanted to be a front-end developer. I didn't know what a software tester was. I figured they were like video game testers, but I had only heard about them. So learning about software testing from the girl that was in my cohort, she sent me resources that I just poured into, and realized that all of these questions that go through my mind about why does something work this way? Why doesn't something work this way? How could it work? Could be put to use in my career. And I was hooked. So I never looked back. I hope that answered your question, Armando. A lot of stuff has happened since then, but, we can always talk about that later. And then Jen Bauer says, I think content creation is interesting, in particular as a QA person. What is there to talk about anymore? It's hard to sort out what matters versus being in an echo chamber, in addition to how to be a content creator as an ADHD person. Lots to unpack here. So the first part about content creation as a QA person, what is there to talk about anymore? Everything. Have you talked about it? I think that everybody has the opportunity to share what they're learning, share what they've gained, or share their experience with something. And what matters to one person may not matter to all. For instance, like I used to write blog posts about some of the Ministry of Testing courses that I was going through. I got Mark's permission and it was all above board. It was totally cool. I didn't think that blog would probably do anything other than just cement my learning in my head, because I knew that I would have to understand a concept in order to explain it to someone else. That insight of how I understand something may prompt a different question for another person, or they might not understand it in the same way that I do, and that prompts a discussion. I live for that. Love it. But you have to put it out there in your voice, because each person has value and each person is on a different place in their journey, like I said. No one has shared your experience from your perspective in this moment before. Make it yours. And then the second part, how to be a content creator as an ADHD person. I'm doing it live, yo. I do the videos, I do the content as the inspiration strikes, which hasn't been terribly often recently. And that's okay, because the internet is still there. Like I said, I want to keep my momentum going, so that's something that I'm very mindful of. But if you're just doing this just to bring you joy, or just to cement your knowledge, or just to shout into the void, do it. And if you need the structure of scheduling things to come out at certain times, do that too. It doesn't work for me. It puts guilt on me when I miss those deadlines. So, deadlines, self-imposed deadlines. So I don't do that anymore. It didn't serve me. But whatever you need to be comfortable, just share it. Share what you're doing, especially if you're new. Because if you're wrong, someone can correct you. Or it might be a perspective that someone who's been around a long time never thought of. So share. I'm excited to see what you come up with. And the last question, Rich asks, I need to know your favorite pizza topping. Which aspect of testing gives you the most joy? Which aspect gives you the most pain? First of all, my favorite pizza topping is cheese, because cheese is the best and the basis for all of the best stuff. But you got to have a good crust to cheese ratio. Otherwise, it just doesn't, it's just foldy. And don't at me, New York people. I like all pizza, but if folding is necessary, why? Anyway, cheese. Which aspect of testing gives you the most joy? I love so many things. I think my favorite thing is exploring a new system in an unexpected way. Because all of our users interact with our systems in ways that we don't expect. Because a lot of people, we build a system a certain way to act within a certain set of actions. That's kind of a simplified definition of what we do. But the user may not know that. Either lack of training, no tooltips, they just don't care, whatever. I like to do the unexpected because I know they're going to do the unexpected. It's just a matter of user ratio, risk ratio, however you want to define the probability of something weird happening. It's going to happen. It might just not happen right now. My greatest joy is finding out those weird things before a user does, because I've saved them a little bit of pain, hopefully. So that's why I like to do that. And which aspect gives me the most pain? Trying to convince people that they should care about other people. That is the unfortunate truth of a struggle that I run into on a daily basis, whether it be at work, where we're talking about accessibility for all, or whether we're in life and trying to explain to someone that they should be an advocate, or why I am an advocate, having to defend why I'm an advocate for things. That gives me a lot of pain, because I try to believe the best in people until they prove me otherwise. And not respecting other people is a good way to prove me otherwise. What a great question, Rich. Thank you. Thank you to all of you who responded to my LinkedIn post and messaged me. I really appreciate y'all giving me a little bit of direction for this introduction. I enjoyed putting this together. It was honestly kind of a labor of love to do a bunch of introspection like this. So thanks for sticking with me. And I hope this video gets into the right hands because, like I said, you can take a chance on me, but it's not really a chance. I've got a lot to offer. And I'm hopeful that the right person will have the resources to reach out to me to learn more. Thank you all. Love ya.